Hey everyone, today we're going to be learning some science. I know, old, boring, and totally the most boring topic in school. Okay, no, it's not as boring as you think, but today we're going to do some mixing of fun and science. How is that possible? Well, you'll see. Come along with me and watch this video. Science, Light and Sound, presented to you by Anika Ashi. Observations and inference. What is an observation? An observation is something you detect with one of your 5 senses. Your 5 senses are sight, hearing, feel, smell, and taste. What is an inference? An inference is a question you ask yourself once you have made your observation. What are your inferences? Here is an example. You have seen your older brother make a cake several times. Every time he makes a cake, he takes a piece of paper from a shelf in the kitchen. While he is making the cake, he looks at the paper a lot. Your observation is that your brother gets a piece of paper off a shelf and looks at it a lot while making a cake. Your inference or your guess based on your observation is that the piece of paper is important for making the cake. What your older brother may have been looking at. You may or may not have heard of something called a recipe, and you may not know how to read what is on the paper. But you are sure it must be important. In this case, your inference is correct. The paper has a recipe on it, and your brother reads and follows it. The recipe that lists all the instructions to bake that cake. Your brother follows it closely to make sure the cake turns out well. Light and shadows. What is light? Light doesn't have any mass and is not considered matter. We can see light, but we can't feel it. Light is a kind of energy called electromagnetic radiation. It travels in straight lines called light rays. The light rays we see are only a small portion of the types of light that exist. All of the light rays are measured on the electromagnetic spectrum. However, the human eye only sees specific areas of the spectrum. Other animals and insects can see other parts of the spectrum that we can't. Electromagnetic spectrum. Joke time! So, today's science joke is, why can't you trust an atom? I don't know. Why can't you trust an atom? Well, it's because they make everything up. Well, of course they do. This is atoms, I am atoms, and you are atoms too. Okay, nice joke. Time to get back to work. Electromagnetic spectrum explained. On the chart for the electromagnetic spectrum, there is an increasing frequency on the top, which means the small numbers on the side are increasing. They are representing how many zeros to add to the number 10. For example, if the chart says 10 power to 4, then you need to add 4 zeros to 10, which would be 1 0 0 0 0 0. So our answer would be 1 0 0 0 0 0. On the bottom, there is an increasing wavelength. The numbers on that have the same concept as the one on the top. The rainbow light is the only wave our eyes can tune to and see. It's kind of like we don't see ghosts, but they might exist. Meaning our eyes are not tuned to see ghosts or other forces of light in this case. That is why it says visible spectrum on the rainbow force. The other forces are long radio waves, FM, AM, microwave, IR, UV, X-ray, and Y-ray. Long radio waves take more time to reach to the radio because there are higher wavelengths and it takes the wave more time to travel on them. FM and AM are both radio signals. FM has shorter wavelength, so the wave takes less time to travel to the signal. AM has has longer wavelengths, so it takes more time to travel. How fast is light? Light travels super fast, about 300,000 kilometers per second. This means light from the sun takes about 8 minutes to go 149 million kilometers to the Earth. This may seem slow, but this shows you how far the sun is from the Earth. Interesting facts. Space does not have any light. We can see things in space because of the sun and star light bouncing off objects in space. Infrared light has a wavelength that is too long for the human eye to see. The study of light is known as optics. Light that we see from the sun actually left the sun 8 minutes before we see it. Sunlight is powerful. It can penetrate the oceans up to 80 meters deep. Beyond 80 meters, the oceans are dark. Natural light. Natural light sources are sources of light energy that come from our environment and are not man-made. The sun, stars, jellyfishes, and fireflies are all examples of natural light sources because they occur naturally in our environment and we do not produce them. The sun provides us with the most light energy as it is a nuclear fireball spewing light energy in all directions. Even the light from the moon is actually just the sun's reflecting off the moon. The moon is not a natural light source because it reflects the light falling on its surface. Joke time once again. So, how do scientists freshen their breaths? I don't know, they probably mints? But what type of mints? Well, experiments. You get it? Like experiments, like mints in the experiment. You get it? Okay, hopefully you did. But, time to get back to work. Science time! Artificial light. An artificial light source is any source of light that is created by humans. It is artificial because it does not occur naturally in our environment. Therefore, it is man-made light. Examples of artificial light include candles, fireworks, light bulbs, and light bulbs. Imagine living without artificial light. Having no light after the sun sets would be terrifying for many people and would also lower the functionality of our society. We rely on artificial light after dark in our businesses, at home, and on our streets. Having the ability to change the lighting around us has led us to so much higher quality life. Properties of light. The properties of light explain how light works and provides us with important information about how we can use light for different purposes. When light hits an object, it will either pass through the object, bounce off its surface, or be absorbed by the object. First property. 1. Light travels in a straight path. Once light has been produced, it will travel in a straight line until it hits something else. We can witness this property by examining a shadow. An object blocks light so that it can reach the surface where we see the shadow. If light could bend, it would go around the object. Second property. Light can be absorbed. When light hits an object, it is sometimes absorbed, which means it does not reflect the light. Wood is an example of material that will absorb light instead of reflect light. When the light waves are absorbed by a material, it means the electrons in the light energy are captured by the matter in the object. Darker colors absorb light, while lighter colors reflect light. Third property. Light can be reflected. Reflection occurs when a light ray hits its surface and bounces off. The angle at which the ray hits the surface is equal to the angle at which it bounces off. If the surface is made very flat and smooth by polishing, all the light rays bounce off in the same direction. Light will reflect off all materials, like the earth. This is why the sky is blue. As the light from the sun hits the earth, the Earth's surface, and the blue light is reflected more than other colors because it travels in shorter, smaller waves. Angle of the light hitting the material affects its ability to bounce off the material. Fourth property, light can be refracted. When light hits an object, it can sometimes go through the object and bend at an angle. An example of this is when light hits a diamond or water. The light will go through the material and bend out of the other side. Fifth property, white light is made of many colors. Sixth property, light bends as it passes through an opening. Example, through a doorway. Transparent, translucent, and opaque. What does transparent mean? Transparent means something that lets light pass through it. Transparent objects can be Ziploc bags, glass, and many more. What does translucent mean? Translucent means something that lets some light pass through it. Translucent objects can be smudged glass, a window with curtains on it, and many more. What does opaque mean? Opaque means something that lets no light pass through it. Opaque objects can be wood, table, and many more. This is an example of transparent, translucent, and opaque. So you get to differentiate this one. That's it for today, everyone. Bye! But also, don't worry. This is just part 1. Tomorrow I'll post part 2, and we all can learn together again. So, for now, bye-bye!